Well, there's quite a few things changing. I mean, one of the one is the market that you guys are in is the performance management market. And if you go back and look at performance management for the last 30 years, it used to be a once a year HR compliance program designed to weed out the low performers and try to come up with a defensible reason to give one person a certain raise and somebody else another raise. And so it was all about applying HR principles to the workforce to maintain equality and drive performance. Now, performance management is really focused on what can we do to get people to do their jobs in a more productive way, to be better trained, better skilled, better engaged in the right job, not the wrong job, not just evaluate their performance. That's a part of it, but that's a very small part of it, really. And so that's completely changed. And then learning domain, I mean, I spent 10 years writing research reports on learning management systems and e-learning and traditional training, blended learning, wrote a whole book on that. And now companies are saying, yeah, that's all well and good, but I want to make sure I have people developing the skills for the future, because every year there's a new set of skills that we need that keeps us from competing with our competitors. And so do we know what those skills are? Do we know where those people are that have those skills? And are we doing things to give them the information they need immediately on the job to do their jobs better? That's a change. So I can go through sort of all of the areas of HR, and they've all adapted to this new world.
Do you think it's fair to say with performance management that the goal of it has moved from evaluation to development, or do you think it's more complex than that?
Well, the simplistic way to think of it is that, but it is much, much more complex. And I'll give you our data on that one. When I first did our first research on performance management was 2006. I remember this. And we had been talking to success factors and a lot of the contemporary companies, and there were a lot of them. By the way, there were like 50, just like there are today.
This is 10 years ago.
10 years ago. And we did a survey, and we asked several hundred companies if you could characterize your performance management into one of two categories, competitive assessment or coaching and development. Which one are you? Pick one. You only get to pick one. 75 to 80% of them said it's competitive assessment. The reason we do it is to figure out who's on top, who's on the bottom, to weed out the low performers, reward the high performers. That was
Jack Welch style.
Right. That was the whole thinking. Last year we did it. It's completely inverted. 75% said it's coaching and development. Only 20 to 25% said it's competitive evaluation. And the reason for that is we're in a world where skills gaps, team engagement, alignment with the mission, hiring people with the right culture and the right passion is a definition of success. Telling somebody they're a low performer isn't going to help you that much. Somebody has to tell them that. But it's really, what do you say after that? What are the coaching and tips and guidance you give them to make sure they can improve their performance? And then having a growth mindset, which basically says, even if you are a low performer, I do believe you could improve. And we're going to spend some time figuring out how to do that in the current role or another role. That's where companies are today. So that whole domain and the software people buy and the kinds of features they want has shifted from this old model to this new model. And I would say, companies like yours are just, really reinventing the whole marketplace.